Hello. Now, Singapore has just recently celebrated its National Day, and that got me thinking that I wanted to know a little bit more about the history of the place. So I've been out, I've done my homework, and I'm going to take you on a whistle-stop tour of Singapore's history. Well, it all started here back in 1819 when this man behind me, Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, came across Singapore. Back then it was all jungles and swamps, but he realised it was a great location for a port, and the British made it a very strategic trading post. Then people came from all around the world and the population swelled up to 10,000 people. Fast forward to the early 20th century and Singapore was prospering. The port was thriving, Chinese immigrants continued to arrive, and all was good on the island. But then came the war. In 1942, Singapore was forced to surrender to Japan. It was the largest surrender of British-led forces in history, and Winston Churchill was furious about it. Now, Japanese rule here in Singapore was brutal, to say the least. Thousands of Chinese Singaporeans were killed, and the war memorial behind me is a permanent reminder of what happened. But with the end of the war came another handover of power, as Britain took control again of Singapore in 1945. By this stage, Singapore was fed up of being ruled by other people, and in 1946 they became a separate crown colony. Now, over the next few years they eked closer to independence, although in 1963 they did become a part of the Federation of Malaysia. That didn't last long though. Political and ethnic tensions really did push them apart, and now they were well on the track towards independence. Well, here outside the country's parliament is a good spot for the next piece of history, as on the 9th of August 1965, Singapore became an independent republic and joined the United Nations. They were now completely on their own under the guidance of the country's so-called founding father, Lee Kuan Yew. And what a job he did. He transformed Singapore into one of the world's major financial hubs. Now, his party, the People's Action Party, have been in power ever since Singapore has been independent, and Lee Kuan Yew's son, Lee Hsien Loong, became the Prime Minister in 2004. He's been in that position ever since and won the recent election to continue being in control of the country. In 2015, it was the end of an era. Lee Kuan Yew, the founding father, he died at the age of 91. Thousands lined the streets for his funeral, and behind me is a memorial tree planted in his constituency of Tanjong Pagar. And that brings us to today. I hope you enjoyed my whistle-stop tour of Singapore's history. If you did, please do like the video and also hit that subscribe button. One final thing to say, happy 55th birthday to Singapore.